Hi, and welcome to another one of my clinical tips in crown and bridge prosthodontics. So in this video, what I'd like to discuss is how you can use your temporary crown as a matrix band when you have a badly broken down molar tooth like we see here, and you don't have enough stability to place a conventional matrix band that will allow you to condense your amalgam. So what we do is we take the original temporary crown and we cut away the occlusal surface, so we're essentially left with an acrylic matrix band that fits well over the margin. And then we take that using a little bit of polycarboxylate cement. You can see squeezing this around the margin, and then we cement our temporary crown or bridge in place with the polycarboxylate. We allow that to semi-set and we clean away the excess polycarboxylate inside the crown, so we're left with a situation like this. We now have a cemented temporary crown, well sealing around the margin, and this is nice and stable. So we can now take our matrix, we can now take our amalgam and pack it conventionally and condense it as needed with the stability we have. So you can see here we're doing that with our amalgam plugger, nice and stable. And then what we do is cut back or scrape back a little bit of the amalgam surface and seal it in, because don't forget this needs to now set for at least 24 hours. So you can leave this for a week or two, but in the meantime we seal over the amalgam with some more acrylic so that amalgam is not left exposed to the oral environment. And that's what I'm doing here, just putting a thin layer of acrylic, sealing the fresh amalgam in there, and that amalgam will then harden over the next week or two or three whenever you see the patient again. So we're left with a situation like this where we have that amalgam encased in some acrylic. Check your occlusion and then dismiss the patient. Patient comes back at least a week later or more, and we then have to cut this crown off, the acrylic crown off, because it's not just going to pull off, there's a lot of undercut. We cut the temporary crown off, and then we're left with the amalgam core, get some rubber dam on, and we now can prep the solid amalgam core as needed. And we then have a well-prepped tooth and a solid amalgam core, which we then can reconstruct, or if you really want, make a new temporary. But acrylic resin is quite conducive to repair. So what I'm doing here is just repairing it. If you prefer, you can make a brand new crown. In this situation I was working with a bridge, so I prefer to repair it rather than remake a whole new temporary bridge, but that's up to you. And that's what we're doing here, just repairing, checking the occlusion. And then you can see here we've got our relined temporary crown. We trim it and replace it back on the tooth. So underneath there we have a solid core, we have a temporary crown on top, and now you're ready to proceed with your final impression. Thanks for watching that video. If you've enjoyed it, please hit the like or subscribe button. For more information on any of the courses I run, please visit the Mizrahi Dental Teaching website. Thank you, and see you next time.